9 straight wins later, and suddenly, the Denver Nuggets are starting to look like a serious threat again. It's not just about stacking wins, it's about how they're doing it. This version of Denver feels like the one we expected from the very beginning of the season. The spacing looks sharper, the intensity is back, and most importantly, their late-game execution, which had been surprisingly inconsistent, has completely flipped. Right now, they look almost unstoppable. Starting with their matchup against the Spurs, every time Nikola Jokić faces Victor Wembanyama, the same question comes up. Who actually benefits more from these matchups? Most people would naturally say Wembanyama. He's younger, more physically gifted, and in theory, repeated reps should help him figure things out defensively. But in reality, it feels like the opposite is happening. Jokić is the one gaining the edge. Against Wembanyama, he's putting up absurd numbers, over 37 points per game with elite efficiency. That's not just impressive, it's dominance. And it's not simply about one-on-one scoring. Sure, Jokić can overpower him at times, but the real problem lies in how Denver operates as a unit. Once the Jamal Murray-Jokić two-man game gets going, everything starts to fall apart for San Antonio. Wembanyama isn't just guarding one player anymore. He's forced to cover multiple threats at once. The Spurs' defensive system is actually well designed. Wembanyama protects the rim, while the rest of the team focuses on taking away three-point shots. That leaves the mid-range area open by design, the least efficient zone for most players. But that strategy completely backfires against Jokić. He's arguably the best mid-range scorer in the league, especially from short range. He takes a high volume of those shots and converts them at elite percentages, numbers that are nearly as efficient as layups. So instead of forcing bad shots, the Spurs are essentially giving Jokić exactly what he wants. This creates a brutal dilemma. If Wembanyama drops back to stop Murray's drive, Jokić gets an easy mid-range look. If he stays higher to contest Jokić, Murray attacks the rim for a layup. There's no right answer. It's a lose-lose situation. And Denver made it even harder by adding a twist late in the game, inverted pick and rolls. When Murray starts setting screens for Jokić, the defense hesitates. Switching creates mismatches, but not switching leads to confusion, and Denver exploits that instantly. That's how they generated wide-open looks in clutch moments, including key shots from Aaron Gordon. That's what makes this team so dangerous. It's never just about stopping one action. The moment you focus too much on the Murray-Jokić game, the supporting cast steps in. Gordon cuts, spaces, and finishes. Role players knock down open shots. Everything connects. And Gordon, in particular, is the glue. Offensively, he spaces the floor, finishes at the rim, and punishes mismatches. Defensively, he's incredibly versatile, capable of guarding multiple positions and making crucial stops. The numbers back it up too. When Jokić and Murray play alone, the offense is elite, but the defense struggles. Add Gordon, and the team becomes significantly more balanced. That's the real formula for Denver. They don't need to be an elite defensive team, they just need to be solid, because once their offense gets rolling, it becomes nearly impossible to stop. The game against Portland showed another side of this team. It wasn't clean at all. They were down big late, but they still found a way to win. Portland was hitting everything, even setting records from three-point range. But once Denver locked in during the fourth quarter, everything shifted. The execution returned. Jokić and Murray controlled the tempo, made the right reads, and repeatedly found open teammates. Big shots from Gordon and others brought them back, and in overtime, Denver completely took over. That comeback mattered, because earlier in the season, that's exactly the type of game they would have lost. Now, they're closing those games out. That's why Denver feels different again. Jokić is dictating the game from the post, like he always has at his best. Murray continues to make smart decisions even when his shot isn't falling. Gordon brings balance on both ends, and the supporting cast is stepping up at the right time. The Denver Nuggets aren't just winning, they're rediscovering their identity. And if this version of Denver continues, they're going to be a serious problem for everyone.